morning, dear students. Today I am going to take up the 7th standard, the chapter Heat and its Effects. We have started this chapter and we have discussed about the heat and its effects on different objects, different materials. What happens, how it causes on solid, what are the effects of heat on the liquid, what are the effects of heat on gas, like that. So we have seen there are so many applications because of expansion and contraction of particles because of the cause of this heat. So we have the wide variety of application because of this heat effects on different objects. In today's class, let us learn more about heat. So today I am going to discuss about what is temperature and which instrument is used to measure the temperature, and what are the effects of temperature, what are the two types of thermometer. Let us discuss in detail and its applications. Okay, the first concept which I am going to explain now is temperature. The amount of heat energy determined by the object, whether it is hot or cold, is by the temperature. Okay, what is temperature? The amount of heat. So you can feel this. Okay, the determination of heat, the determination of how hot the object is, how cold the object is, determines the temperature. So what is temperature? Temperature is the measure of heat energy in the object. We can make use of different material in order to heat. Okay, in order to heat and in order to cool the object. In order to increase the temperature of the object, we can use the solar energy or the electrical energy, mechanical energy, like that. And we can decrease the temperature of the object by keeping them in the refrigerator and all. So by cooling we can decrease the temperature of the object. So this temperature determines how hot or cold the object is. Temperature determines the amount of heat energy present in the object. So we can define the temperature as the degree of hotness or coldness of an object. Degree of hotness or the coldness of an object is known as temperature. We can define the temperature like this way. The degree of hotness or coldness of an object is known as temperature. We can use different we can use the instrument. Okay, we use the thermometer to measure the temperature. Thermometer is used to measure the temperature.
Can you tell me which is colder, a cold drink bottle or a chilled glass of water? You will make an assumption, but once we measure their temperature, we will get a clearer picture. Temperature is the degree of hotness or coldness of a body. It tells us how cold or hot an object is. Our sensation of touch is relative. Heat passes from a hot body to a cold body. Let us learn this with an experiment. Here is a glass of ice cold water. This water is at room temperature. And this is hot water. Now we will take the thermometer and measure their temperatures. The ice cold water is at 0 degrees Celsius, while the normal water is at 22 degrees Celsius, which is the room temperature, and the hot water is at 55 degrees Celsius. So only a thermometer can tell us accurately if any object is hot or cold.
Okay, we can give so many examples for this temperature concept or the heat energy present in the object. Okay, it applicable to the human body also. Our body also have certain temperature. Our body also have the particular temperature. The normal human body, normal human body have the temperature around 36 degrees Celsius to 37.5 degrees Celsius. That is the normal range of temperature of the human body. We are warm-blooded animals. We belongs to warm-blooded animals. So the temperature vary between the 36 degrees Celsius to 37.5 degrees Celsius. Okay. So whenever we have the fever, that temperature, the body temperature raises. So we can use when we visit the clinic, when we visit the hospital, they use the thermometer to measure the temperature, the amount of heat energy present in our body. Okay, so we can give so many illustration for the concept of temperature. And also when you heat any object, okay, when you heat any object, you can you can see the variation in temperature. When you supply the heat energy to the object, there is increase in the heat energy of the object. And when you keep it in the refrigerator, there is gradual decrease in the temperature of the object. So we can observe the variation in temperature of the body or the object, and we can feel this temperature. How if a person have the fever, okay, if you just touch, you can feel that the body will be little hot. So you can make out that that person have the fever, like that. In the present days, because of this pandemic situation, wherever you go, they'll check the body temperature. So we can determine the temperature of the body, and we can make out the person is healthy or if he have any problems, like that. So this temperature determines the heat energy of the object. And how they'll measure the temperature of the body? They'll keep that thermometer inside the mouth, on the tongue or under the arm. So whenever we can make out the temperature of the body by using the thermometer. Okay, now let us discuss about the thermometer. The instrument which is used to measure the temperature of an object is known as thermometer. What is thermometer? We can define the thermometer. It's an instrument used to measure the temperature of an object. Okay, what is thermometer? It is an instrument which is used to measure. An instrument used to measure the temperature of an object is known as thermometer. And this thermometer have some material. Okay, the thermometer have some material which have some physical property that determines the temperature of an object, and it vary. The temperature uniformly vary when there is increase or decrease in the temperature of the object. Okay, so these thermometers have some materials in it. So they have some physical property. So whenever there is difference in temperature, that can make out. So that shows the difference in temperature of an object. The most commonly used thermometers are liquid thermometers. Most of the times we use the liquid thermometers. So what is liquid thermometers? These thermometers have the liquids. They have the liquids inside. They have the liquid in them. So they work with the principle. They have their working principle. Okay, what is the working principle of it? The working principle is the liquids expands on heating and contracts on cooling. The working principle of this liquid thermometer is the liquids expands on heating and contracts on cooling. Okay, there is expansion when you heat the object, and there is contraction of the liquid. There is contraction of the liquid when you cool the object. So based on that principle, these liquid thermometers works. Now let us see the thermometer, how it looks. Why we prefer these liquid thermometers? Because they are inexpensive. They are very simple. The thermometers are very simple and they are inexpensive. Means easily you can get it. It is cheaper cost and it long lasts. Okay, you can use it for the long time. It long lasts for many times. So these are the application. These are the based on these things we prefer these liquid thermometers, because they are very simple and they are inexpensive and they are long lasting.
Liquid thermometers have a long stem with a bulb at the end. Temperatures are marked on the stem in degrees. The stem has a very thin tube inside it is called a capillary tube. So you can see in this picture, this is a structure of thermometer and it have the bulb at the end. Okay, so in the bulb there is liquid mercury and it have the capillary tube, and whenever there is increase in the temperature, the level of mercury, the liquid mercury expands. There we can see observe the increase in mercury level, and it have the stem has a very thin tube inside it. Okay, there is a very thin tube. This mercury is filled inside this tube. That tube is known as capillary tube. It is very thin tube. Its name is capillary tube. If you take one thermometer and if you observe carefully, you can see the shiny liquid inside the bulb and a thin thread of same liquid inside the capillary tube in the stem. So in the bulb there is a shiny liquid, and in the capillary tube also you can observe the shiny liquid. Whenever there is increase in the temperature, that level also increases. So that normally we use mercury as a liquid inside the thermometer, and it expands on heating. That is why it expands fast when it is heated. And also another liquid which is used in the thermometer is alcohol, and this alcohol have very low freezing point. So alcohol is used in the very cold places. In the cold places, thermometer which is having the alcohol as a liquid is used to measure the temperature, but its boiling point is very low. The boiling point of alcohol is very low, so it is not suitable to measure very high temperature. Okay, in the cold places only they use the thermometer which is having alcohol as the liquid. So in the thermometer either we can use alcohol as the liquid or mercury as the liquid.
Now let us discuss about the scales of thermometer. Okay, the scales of thermometer. We can see two types of scales of thermometer. How we to measure the length of the object, we use either meter scale or we use the centimeter scale, like that. Okay, to measure the length of an object we use the meter scale or the centimeter scale, like that. Here also to measure the length, to measure the amount of energy, heat energy, to measure the amount of heat energy we use the scales for thermometer. We use the scales. Okay, now let us discuss what are these scales of thermometer. Okay, there are two types in thermometer scale. One is Celsius scale and another one is Fahrenheit scale. Okay, these are the two types of scale, okay, to measure the temperature of an object. So these are the scales, Celsius scale and Fahrenheit scale. And the unit of measuring the temperature is degree Celsius. Okay, the unit of measuring the temperature is degree Celsius. We measure the temperature either using the Celsius scale in degree Celsius or using the Fahrenheit scale in degree Fahrenheit. Okay, we measure these are the scales and these are the units. These are the units. And then in order to measure in the laboratory and all, for to get the absolute temperature of an object, we use the Kelvin scale. Okay, Kelvin scale is used to measure the absolute temperature. In the laboratory and in the industries and all, we use the Kelvin scale to get the absolute, to get the accurate temperature of an object. To get the accurate temperature of an object, we use the Kelvin scale. Okay, then in India, we use the Celsius scale to measure the temperature of an object. And this Kelvin scale is the, Kelvin is the standard unit of temperature. SI unit of temperature.
And here 1 Kelvin is equal to 1 degree Celsius. 1 Kelvin is equal to 1 degree Celsius.
Okay, Kelvin is the SI unit of temperature. Kelvin is used to measure the Kelvin is the SI unit of temperature, means overall throughout the world this is the standard unit of measurement of the temperature. Got it? Now let us discuss one by one Celsius scale and Fahrenheit scale and what are the relationship between these two things. In all the temperature we can see the two fixed points. One is lower fixed point, another one is upper fixed point. Okay, if you see any temperature scale, you can see these two things. Okay, one is there is a lower fixed point and another one is upper fixed point. So what is lower fixed point? In order to measure any object, you should have some standards. You should to create some standards in order to measure the temperature of an object. We use these two fixed points. One is lower fixed point and another one is upper fixed point. See how in the meter scale there is the starting point. There is a lower fixed point, that is 0, and there in the centimeter scale the highest, okay, in the small meter centimeter scale you can see the highest fixed point, it is 15. Like that, in the thermometer scale also there are two fixed points. So that is used as a standard fixed points to measure any object, that considered as a standard units. So the melting point of an water, okay, the melting point of water is considered as a lower fixed point in the thermometer. What is the melting point of water? The melting point of water is 0 degree Celsius. So 0 degree Celsius is the lower fixed point of the Celsius scale. And which is the upper fixed point? 100. So upper fixed point, the boiling point of the water is considered as the upper fixed point. The boiling point of water is how much? Okay, the boiling point of water. Okay, you all know the boiling point of water is 100 degree Celsius. So upper fixed point in the Celsius scale is 100 degree Celsius. Now let us discuss about the Celsius scale. Okay, now I am going to discuss about the Celsius scale. So how it looks? In the Celsius scale there is one lower fixed point and one upper fixed point. As I said, the lower fixed point is is 0 degree Celsius and the upper fixed point is is 100 degree Celsius. Okay, this is the lowest, this is the highest. So in between these 2 points there are, okay, 100 parts. Okay, the scale is divided into 100 equal parts. So these points are divided into 100 equal parts, and it is divided into 100 equal parts, and one part is equal to 1 degree Celsius. So one part is equal to 1 degree Celsius. So in the centimeter scale, okay, how it is? If you take the scale and if you see the 0 and 1, okay, there are how many equal parts? There are 10. Between 0 to 1 there are 10 equal parts. So it is divided equally. Got it? So these 10 parts are divided equally, and in each point is each part in between 0 and 1, each part is equal to 0.1 centimeter. Like that, here also the Celsius scale is divided into 100 equal parts and one part is equal to 1 degree Celsius. Got it? The next concept is Fahrenheit scale. Let me discuss about Fahrenheit scale. Okay, in the Fahrenheit scale, the lower fixed point is 32 degrees Fahrenheit, and the upper fixed point is 212 degree Fahrenheit. Okay, so what is the difference between these two? 212 minus 32, that is okay 180 degree. Got it? So the lower fixed point is 32 degree Fahrenheit, and the upper fixed point is 212 degree Fahrenheit. So the interval between these two fixed point is divided into 180 equal parts. Okay, 180 equal parts, and one part is equal to 1 degree Fahrenheit. So in the meter scale, how you can see the between 0 and 1 it is divided into 10 equal parts. Like that, in the Fahrenheit scale also, the interval between interval between these two fixed point is divided into 180 equal part, and one part is equal to 1 degree Fahrenheit. Okay, now let us discuss about what is the relationship between this Celsius scale and the Fahrenheit scale. We know here in the Celsius scale, the lower point is 0 degree Celsius. Here it is 32 degree Celsius, and the upper fixed point is 212 degree Fahrenheit here, and there in the Celsius scale it is 100 degree Celsius. Since the lower fixed point in Celsius scale is equal to the Fahrenheit scale, we can find the relationship between that. So I can write that Celsius minus 0 divided by 100 is equal to Fahrenheit minus, so which is the lower point in the Fahrenheit scale, that is 32, and it is divided into 180 equal parts. Okay, I can write the relationship like this: Celsius minus any temperature minus 0. Okay, any temperature minus 0, that difference is equal to this difference. Okay, that means is same. Okay, any temperature minus 0, because 0 is the lower fixed point, divided by 100, because the intervals are divided into 100 equal parts. And here Fahrenheit, any temperature minus lower fixed point is 32 divided by 180, because 180 is the number of equal parts in the Fahrenheit scale, so they are equal. I can find the relationship like this. I can define the relationship between Fahrenheit scale and Celsius scale like this: C minus 0 divided by 100 is equal to F minus 32 divided by 180. So when you simplify, what do you get? Okay, you can divide by, okay, 2 5s and 2 9s. So I can write C minus 0 divided by 5 is equal to Fahrenheit F minus 32 divided by 9. So we can use this formula to find the, so we can use, okay, if they give the temperature in Celsius, you can use this form. If they give the temperature in Celsius and if they ask to convert it into Fahrenheit scale, you can use this formula: C minus 0 by 5 is equal to F minus 32 by 9. So we use the relationship to find to convert the temperature in Celsius to temperature in Fahrenheit, or if they give the temperature in Fahrenheit, convert them into Celsius, like that. Now let us solve the problems by using this formula. So this is the relationship between Celsius scale and the Fahrenheit scale. Okay, to convert degree Celsius to Fahrenheit, degree Fahrenheit, we can derive the formula from this. How? Okay, to convert the Celsius to Fahrenheit, what is the formula? Fahrenheit F is equal to, I will transport the 9 to this side. So C minus 0 is C only, right? C by 5 is equal to, or you can write C by 5 is equal to F minus 32 divided by 9. So to convert that Celsius to Fahrenheit, I can use this formula. How? Okay, keep F there only. 9, take it to the left side, transpose 9 now. So 9 by 5 C plus 32. Okay, to convert the degree Celsius to Fahrenheit, you can use this formula. F is equal to 9 by 5 C plus 32. And to convert degree Fahrenheit to degree Celsius, you can use this formula. Okay, C is equal to right side, transpose 5 now. So F 5 into F minus 32 divided by 9. This is the formula to convert the Fahrenheit to degree Celsius. Okay, I am going to take the example 1. Convert 40 degree Celsius to degree Fahrenheit. Okay, they have given the temperature in degree Celsius, that is 40 degree Celsius. You have to convert it into Fahrenheit scale. Convert the Celsius scale to Fahrenheit scale. So which formula you have to use? Which formula we have to use? We have to use the first formula, that is degree Celsius to degree Fahrenheit. This formula, F is equal to 9 by 5 into C plus 32. So the formula is, first write the formula, F is equal to 9 by 5 into C plus 32. Now replace the C by the value. Okay, what is the given value? That is 40 plus 32. So here 5 ones are 5 eights are. Then 9 eights are 72 plus 32. So 72 plus 32 is equal to 104 degree Fahrenheit. So whatever value you get, that you write in Fahrenheit, because this is the Fahrenheit scale. Okay, F is the temperature in Fahrenheit. So unit is degree Fahrenheit. Temperature in Fahrenheit, unit is degree Fahrenheit. So when you convert 40 degree Celsius to degree Fahrenheit, you will get temperature 104 degree Fahrenheit. The next question is, convert minus 40 degree Fahrenheit to degree Celsius. Convert minus 40 degree Celsius Fahrenheit to degree Celsius. So which formula you have to use? You have to use the second formula, that is degree Fahrenheit to degree Celsius, this one. So what is the formula? C is equal to, write the formula, C is equal to 5 in the bracket F minus 32 divided by 9. Now replace the letter. Okay, replace that. So F into 5 into F means replace F by minus 40. So minus 40 by minus 32 divided by 9. So what do you get? 5 by 9 in the bracket minus 40 minus 32 is equal to how much? Minus 72. So 9, how much is 72? 9 ones are 9 eights are 8 5s are 40. So minus 40. So minus 40 degree Fahrenheit is equal to minus 40 degree Celsius. Got it? So this is in the temperature, this is in the degree Celsius. So minus 40 degree Fahrenheit is equal to minus 40 degree Celsius. Got it?
Now let us discuss about how to use the thermometer. To use the thermometer, place its bulb in contact with the object whose temperature is to be measured. Okay, you have to place the thermometer, okay, the bulb in contact with the object, and watch the level of mercury in the stem. So you can see either rise in the level of mercury or fall in the level of mercury, on or it may after some time it will remain steady at a particular reading. So you have to note down that reading, that tells you about the temperature of that object. So reading tells you about the temperature of that object. Got it?
Okay, we can see there are various types in the thermometer. Especially there are three types. One is laboratory thermometer, another one is clinical thermometer, and the third one is digital thermometer.
One is clinical thermometer, second one is laboratory thermometer, and the third one is digital thermometer.
Now let us discuss about this. Okay, what are the difference between this laboratory thermometer and clinical thermometer? The laboratory thermometer is used in the laboratory, okay, to determine the temperature of the experiment, okay, to check the temperature, okay, while conducting the experiment. Okay, while conducting experiment, to determine the temperature of the any experiment, okay, to check the temperature of the experiment, okay, to check the temperature while conducting the experiment, we use the laboratory thermometer. And this clinical thermometer is used in the, okay, hospital, clinics, wherever, okay, at home also, okay, and it is used in home, clinic, and in hospital, okay, okay, it is used to measure the temperature of human body, okay. The difference is it is used in the laboratory and these are used in the clinic, hospital and home, and it is used to check the temperature while conducting the experiments, and this is used to measure the temperature of the human body. And what is the temperature range? Okay, the temperature range in laboratory temperature vary from
Minus 10 degree Celsius to 110 degree Celsius.
the temperature ranges between minus 10 degree Celsius to 110 degree Celsius. Got it? Here the temperature, clinical temperature, okay, the temperature ranges between 34 degree Celsius to 42 degree Celsius. Why it is so less? Because the human body, the temperature of the human body vary between 34 degree Celsius to 42 degree Celsius. And as I said, the average level of the normal average temperature of the human body is just 37 degrees Celsius. The average normal temperature of the human body is just 37 degrees Celsius. So the temperature ranges between 34 degrees Celsius to 42 degrees Celsius in clinical thermometer. And there is a kink, okay, there is a kink, okay, above the stem of the there is a kink or the constriction just above the bulb. Here there is no kink or constriction. Okay, in the clinical thermometer, there is a kink or the constriction just above the bulb, and here in the laboratory thermometer, there is no kink or the constriction. So these are the difference between the laboratory thermometer and the clinical thermometer. The laboratory thermometer is used in the labs to determine the temperature of the experiment. This is used in hospital, home and clinic. And here the temperature vary between minus 10 degrees Celsius to 110 degrees Celsius. Here it vary between 34 degrees Celsius to 42 degrees Celsius, and it is used to measure the temperature of the human body. Here, and there is a kink or the constriction just above the bulb. You can see in the picture. Here there is no kink or the constriction in the laboratory thermometer. Okay, now let us discuss about the working of clinical thermometer. How it works? Let us discuss now.
Clinical thermometer. In this module, you will learn about a clinical thermometer. Your forehead feels warm. You immediately suspect a fever. To be sure, however, you need to measure your exact body temperature. How would you do that? Well, with the help of a clinical thermometer, also called a doctor's thermometer. A clinical thermometer is usually made of glass and consists of a mercury-filled bulb inside at one of its ends and a fine capillary tube that looks like a thread running from the bulb to its other end. There is a small constriction in the neck close to the bulb. A clinical thermometer can measure temperature ranging from 35 degrees Celsius to 42 degrees Celsius or 95 degrees Fahrenheit to 108 degrees Fahrenheit. That's a pretty small range. You can get the temperature by reading the scale inscribed on the side of the thermometer. Let us now see how a clinical thermometer works. A clinical thermometer is usually placed inside the mouth for measuring body temperature. Because of the body heat, the mercury inside the bulb heats up, expands, and rises to a certain level in the capillary tube through the constriction. The new level to which the mercury rises indicates the exact body temperature. You may be wondering if the reading changes on removing the thermometer from the mouth. Well, it does not. The constriction prevents the mercury from flowing back into the bulb. You can also say that the mercury column breaks at the constriction and is unable to return to the bulb, thus remaining stationary in the tube. To reset the thermometer, you need to swing it sharply many times so as to make the mercury column return to the bulb. Why do you think mercury is used in a clinical thermometer? Mercury is used in a clinical thermometer as well as other thermometers for a number of reasons. First, mercury is a metal and thus it is a good conductor of heat. It starts to expand instantly on placing the thermometer inside the mouth. The expansion can be seen as a rising thread of mercury. Second, mercury remains a liquid at temperatures ranging from minus 39 degrees Celsius to 357 degrees Celsius. Hence, it can serve to measure a wide range of temperatures. At last, mercury does not stick to glass. Though using mercury in thermometers has advantages, Mercury-based thermometers are considered risky. This is because mercury is poisonous. In case the bulb or the neck of a thermometer breaks, mercury can leak out into the mouth. This is why mercury-based clinical thermometers have largely been replaced nowadays with electronic digital thermometers or scanner thermometers. In this module you've learnt a clinical thermometer is a thermometer used for measuring body temperature. It is usually made of glass and consists of a mercury-filled bulb at one of its ends and a fine tube running from the bulb to the other end. The neck near the bulb has a small constriction. A clinical thermometer can measure a very small range of temperature ranging from 35 degrees Celsius to 42 degrees Celsius or 95 degrees Fahrenheit to 108 degrees Fahrenheit. When a clinical thermometer is placed inside the mouth, the body heat causes the mercury in the bulb to heat up, expand and rise up the capillary tube through the constriction up to a certain level. The new mercury level indicates the exact body temperature. Mercury is used in thermometers because it is a good conductor of heat and expands uniformly. It can be used to measure a wide range of temperatures and it does not stick to the glass. Mercury-based clinical thermometers have largely been replaced nowadays with electronic digital thermometers or scanner thermometers.
Okay, now let us discuss about the digital thermometer. So, this digital thermometer is an electronic device. And it does not contain any glass. It is not made up of glass material. And it does not contain alcohol or mercury. Okay? Shut your mouth. So this digital thermometer is an electronic device and it is not made up of the glass material. Okay? It is not made up of glass material and it does not contain any liquids inside it. It does not contain any alcohol or the mercury. And it have some device and it does not it have the different working principle and it just displays, or if you use that digital thermometer, it just displays LCD display. It just shows the temperature. Okay, it just shows the temperature on the LCD display. So its working principle is different from those liquid thermometers and it is easy to read the temperature using this and it shows the accurate temperature of the body or the material. Got it?
I'm Dr. Boyd the Chemist, and this is Science Made Simple. Today, we're going to talk about thermometers, what a thermometer is, what it does, and how to read one. Then we're going to do a brief demonstration to show how it works. For today's demonstration, here's what you'll need. For today's demo, you're going to need some hot water. You're going to need some cold water. Of course, you'll need a thermometer. And I have my thermometer in a transparent glass that I'm going to use to hold the hot or the cold water, and then we're going to monitor the temperature as it goes up or down. And take note of the numbers, letters, and lines on my thermometer. Generally speaking, temperature is a measure of hot and cold, and a thermometer is a tool used to measure temperature. It is one of several tools that we commonly use to measure changes in the weather. There are several types of thermometers, including digital thermometers that give you an alphanumeric readout. In fact, in one of my earlier videos, I introduced and demonstrated the Galileo thermometer. So after you watch this video, you'll definitely want to go back and check that one out too, because it's pretty cool. Finally, these numbers mean nothing without knowing what units the temperature is being measured in. The most common units for measuring temperature are Fahrenheit, indicated with a capital F, and Celsius, indicated with a capital C. Both F and C are preceded by a small little circle that we call a degree sign. We say the temperature by saying degrees Fahrenheit or degrees Celsius. Chemists and physicists often use another unit for measuring temperature, represented by the letter K, a capital K. It represents Kelvin. Now, K is never preceded by the small little circle we call a degree sign, and we never say degrees Kelvin. We simply say the numeric value followed by Kelvin afterward. Because we'll be using hot water in this demonstration, you'll want to be careful not to spill it on yourself or someone else. Now let's see this thermometer in action. For today's demonstration, we are using a thermometer that uses a red liquid to indicate the temperature. The liquid is housed in a clear, sealed, thin tube. At the bottom of the sealed tube, there is a bulb of fluid. This bulb is the temperature sensor. Depending on the hotness or coldness experienced by the bulb, the red fluid rises or falls within the tube. Most importantly, the tube is accompanied by numeric values and lines that we call gradations. The red fluid is calibrated to indicate what the temperature is based on these values. The temperature reading is based on the location where the red fluid is furthest from the bulb at the bottom of the tube. Once we find that spot, we look at the number and gradation closest to the top of the red fluid, and that tells us our temperature. On this thermometer, the gradations fall between values of 10 on the left and values of 20 on the right. Because there are 10 gradation marks between numbers on the left, each gradation on the left represents 1 degree. Now pay close attention. Because there are still only 10 gradation marks between numbers on the right, but the numbers are multiples of 20, each gradation on the right represents 2 degrees. First, place your thermometer in a tall glass container. Let's try the cold water first. Before you add the cold water, note the temperature in the room that you're in. Now, add your cold water. Notice how the red fluid goes down within the tube. You'll take your measurement once the red fluid stops moving. Now let's exchange the cold water for hot water. Add your hot water. Notice how the red fluid moves quickly up inside your tube. Once again, we'll take our measurement once the red fluid stops moving.
Okay students, in today's class we have discussed about what is temperature and which is the instrument used to measure the temperature, and what are the types in the thermometers, and how it is used in the laboratory or in the clinic, and what are the applications of it. and what are the difference between the clinical thermometer and the laboratory thermometer, and what are the working function, what are the working principle of it. Okay, we have studied about all these things. Thank you, students.